E.N.D here, day 4 for the spoilers of Murders at Karlov Manor, the set where everyone is guilty until proven innocent. Anyway, let's start. And I want to start with Kylo's Volt Charger, 1 blue and 1 red for 4 artifact vehicle. Collect evidence 6. When you collect evidence 6, Kylo's Volt Charger becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Whenever it attacks, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from among cards exiled with it. If a spell cast this way would be put into your graveyard, put it on the bottom of your library instead. Crew for only 2. Archdruid's Charm for 3 green, instant, choose 1. Search your library for a creature or land card and reveal it. Put it on the battlefield tapped if it's a land, otherwise put it into your hand then shuffle. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature control. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Exile target artifact or enchantment. Blood Spatter Analysis for 1 black and 1 red enchantment. Enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature and opponent controls. Whenever 1 or more creature die, mill a card and put a bloodstain counter on it. Then sacrifice it if it has 5 or more bloodstain counters on it. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Barbed Servitor for 3 and 1 black 1/1 indestructible. Enters the battlefield, suspect it. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. When it's dealt damage, target opponent loses that much life. Proft Eidetic Memory, 1 and 1 blue, legendary enchantment. Enters the battlefield, draw a card. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than 1 card this turn, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn, -1. Doppelgang, XXX, 1 green and 1 blue. Sorcery, for each of X target permanents, create X tokens that are copies of that permanent. If X equals 1, you will target 1 permanent and you will create 1 token of that permanent. If X equals 2, you will target 2 permanents and you will create 2 tokens of those 2 permanents, and so on and so on. Fugitive Codebreaker for 1 and 1 red, 2/1 with prowess and haste. Disguise for 5 and 1 red. When it is turned face up, discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. Case of the Locked Hothouse, 3 and 1 green. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. To solve it, you control 7 or more lands. Solved. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may play lands and cast creatures and enchantment spells from the top of your library. If you don't know how to play Enchantment Case, I did a tutorial explaining this particular new enchantment, how it works. Relive the Past, 5 1 green and 1 white. Sorcery, return up to 1 target artifact card, up to 1 target land card, and up to 1 target non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. They are 5/5 elemental creatures in addition to their other types. Repulsive Mutation, X 1 green and 1 blue. Instant, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature control, then counter up to 1 target spell unless its controller pays mana equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Essence of Antiquity, 3 and 2 white, 1/10. Yes, it's a 1/10. Disguise for 2 and 1 white. When it is turned face up, creatures you control gains hexproof until end of turn, untap them. Pompous Braggart, 2 and 1 green, 4/2. As long as it's your turn, it has hexproof. Can be blocked by creatures without a name. Greenbelt Orator, 3 and 1 green, 4/4. Disguise for 5 and 2 green. When it is turned face up, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. They gain trample until end of turn. Case of the Burning Mask for 1 and 2 red. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature and opponent controls. To solve it, 3 or more sources you control deal damage this turn. Solved. Sacrifice it. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. Choose one of them. You may play that card this turn. Chalk Outline for 3 and 1 green enchantment. Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token, then investigate. Mistway Spy for 1 blue 1/1 with flying. Disguised for 1 and 1 blue. When it is turned face up until end of turn, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, investigate. Aftermath Analyst for 1 and 1 green, 1-3. Enters the battlefield, military cards, 3 and 1 green. Sacrifice it, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Clandestine Meddler for 2 and 1 black, 3-2. Enters the battlefield, suspect up to one other target creature you control. Whenever one or more suspected creatures you control attacks, Silver 1. Cornered Crook 4 and 1 red, 5-4. Enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact. When you do, it deals 3 damage to any target. Get a leg up for 1 green instant. Until end of turn, target creature get +1/+1 for each creature you control and gains reach. Reckless Detective for 1 and 1 red, 0-3. Whenever it attacks, you may sacrifice an artifact or discard a card. If you do, draw a card and it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Crowfoot Hound for 1 white, artifact food equipment. Equip creature get +2/+0. 2. Tap. Sacrifice it, you gain 3 life. When it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay 1 and 1 white. If you do, create 2 1/1 white dog creature tokens. Equip for 2. Polygraph Orb 4 and 1 black, artifact. Enters the battlefield. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. You lose 2 life. 2. Tap. Collect Evidence 3. Each opponent loses 3 life unless they discard a card or sacrifice a creature. Pick your poison for 1 green sorcery. Choose 1. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. It's a pity it's not an instant. So that was the last card in this particular day 4 for the spoilers of murders at Karlov Manor. Join me again tomorrow for more spoilers about this murder mystery set. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.